Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Thomas. Tonight we're back here with Puppet History. We got the bloody life of England's fastest surgeon. Oh boy. So, not sure it's a good thing to be called the fastest surgeon. I don't know. I feel like there's gonna be some major mistakes made along the way for this guy. So wish me luck as we see how many bodies, or at least how well this surgeon did. So be sure to like, subscribe for more. Hope you enjoyed. Let's go. As always, we keep track of the score. Gonna be playing along.
Welcome one and all to Puppet History. Today we're taking an ever-winding look at yet another chapter.
Sorry.
In the heavy book we call history, while our guests ruthlessly compete for the coveted title of History Master. I am your beloved host, the Professor. Thank you. Ryan Bergara, looking to maintain a 4-week winning streak. Are you ready?
I guess.
Still alive.
Yes,
for
you
now.
are.
For now.
For now. Moving on.
Arya Intavong, our special
Arya?
guest. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm very ready. It is a
All right,
real
nice to meet
treat
you,
to be
Arya.
here. Thank you so much for having
It's
me.
a pleasure to have you. Well then, let's crack in!
Dr. Robert Liston.
Now, to begin, have either of you ever had any surgeries? Maybe an appendix out or even wisdom teeth?
Well, I personally
Yeah,
am very
mostly just some
blessed
wisdom teeth,
to
but
have
that's
only
about it.
had my wisdom. I had a root canal. Yeah, I hadn't gone to the dentist for like 9 years.
Oh,
and so
really?
by the time I went there, they said, oh yeah, these bad boys need to be taken out. And you also need a root canal.
yeah.
So I got a
Yeah,
double
they got
whammy.
a
I mean,
Crown
among
for
other
me.
things, yeah, 9 years is a
Teeth, too.
long
It
time.
was a long time.
After now, how many wisdom teeth did you have at that point?
I had 4 that had to be
4.
pulled,
Strong,
pulled
smart
them out.
guy.
And they were impacting the teeth in front of them too.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Makes sense. They pushed them forward, I think. My dad's a dentist, so
Oh,
I
yeah,
kind of
the
have like a
scary
little bit of
dentist.
knowledge in this.
Brag much?
Brag much.
I said brag much?
Oh no, I was just waiting for you to correct yourself because you were being rude.
Anybody ever cut you, Ryan?
oh my God.
Whoa.
Let's ask the box. Maybe there's some answers in there.
Don't touch the box. If you touch the box, I'll fucking kill you.
Yeesh.
Okay, all right. Whoa, a little aggressive there. Everything's fine.
You
Are you
think?
guys afraid of surgery?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, aren't we all?
Going under the knife.
Ooh.
Not just that, but I'm
pretty much-
scared of the, remember the old Hayden Christensen movie, where he's awake. I think it's called Awake.
Oh yeah, when the anesthetic doesn't work.
Well, if the idea of surgery
Oh,
today
wow.
is scary, imagine what it was like only a few hundred years ago. Actually, don't imagine, listen. Today we're talking about Victorian medicine's greatest surgeon, Dr. Robert Liston.
Okay, this seems like a guy up
I've
to
heard
no
this
good
guy before.
already.
Anyone else?
Maybe.
Ooh, are we talking about like a mad doctor?
I don't know.
Like
You
a
heard of him?
cannibal? No, I haven't heard of him.
Never heard of him.
You gotta imagine surgery in the Victorian era, probably not great though.
Did they have anesthetics back then?
I think he was just bite down on this belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's take the arm now.
Well, let's get into it. No,
Yeah, not really a lot of the time of anesthetics. It was pretty much either just have some drunks or chloroform, or just anything, really. I don't think they even had anesthesia. They didn't even really think it was a science. They pretty much just put some chloroform over his head, just hope for the best. Yeesh. That's gotta be some nightmares. Anyway, time to hear Robert's story.
one likes to be sick, but in the 1800s, getting sick was barely better than getting dead. And if you needed an operation, well, your choice really came down to how much pure suffering you could handle. Before the advent of anesthesia, not to mention germ theory, a doctor's visit was
Yeah, I think it was
basically
like
your
the
last-ditch effort to survive. In 1847, according to the New York Times, quote, physicians were only a few decades from medical theories inherited from the ancient Greeks.
Not a fun
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
I assumed that
From
like if
the
you got
Greeks.
stabbed or something was kind of like a mortal wound, they would just let you bleed out and die. And it's like, he's gone.
I imagine their best
Yeah,
effort was like
he's,
cauterizing stuff with a hot sword or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
first one.
1835, and you've both slipped on banana peels. I don't know how you've done it. Bananas won't really be around the U.S. for another few decades. But you've both got compound fractures. What you gonna do? A, pray. B, see a doctor.
Or C?
Were you expecting a third option?
Yes.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it's 1835. Be glad you have 2 choices.
Yeesh, okay, fine. Considering the time.
Now, am I answering this like me in that time, right?
In that time.
In that time.
Yeah.
That time.
Beef Boy's stewing hard on this one. Beef stew.
Yeah.
The classic beef stew.
Beef stew. Yeah.
Okay, Ryan, what you got?
I guess I'm gonna go
A,
with
Hedgerows
Doctor
Prey.
B. I don't know. It feels weird because it does feel kind of
mean, you
like
said a few
going to a
decades.
doctor would only make my
pretty much just
situation
praying for the
worse.
best.
Anyways, yeah, I don't think praying would do much.
Okay, and Arya?
I went the opposite. I said A, pray.
That's what I thought too.
You know, the praying ain't gonna do much
like you
either. But
said,
the doctor
only a few
situation,
decades
that's
away
gonna be
from the
unnecessary
Greeks.
pain involved.
Sure.
Not good.
You know, I may as well spare myself the pain.
I think you're gonna still be in a lot of pain if your bone's sticking out of your skin, though.
Yes,
But maybe God will help.
Yes.
I
mean,
know,
that's
it's
pretty
kind of
much
hard to
their time,
kneel and
so-
pray when your shin bone's popping out of your skin.
I do agree that either way, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah, well, God gave you
You're
the
screwed
compound
either
fracture
way.
too.
Yeah.
That's true.
So why would he fix it?
Maybe it's a test. A test.
Yeah.
A test.
Perhaps.
It's always everything's a test.
The big purple guy tests us a lot. I'm going to give a point to Ryan for that one. Yes,
the
Arya, while prayer may have helped your soul, it certainly didn't help your body. Your leg had no chance of healing, and you would have gotten gangrene, which would have led to a little bit of blood poisoning, which would have killed you.
I always thought it was funny that gangrene is also the nickname for the New York Jets,
That's
which is
funny.
appropriate because they suck balls.
Oh.
And they always have. Oh God!
Hey.
You know, I don't even like when you pretend to like sports references
No,
because
I
it
love
comes
it.
off as content.
Dunking on the Jets. Take that, Jets! Now, on the other hand, with the doctor, I'm afraid your outlook has improved only slightly. The doctor is going to perform an anesthesia-free amputation. You're to drink a pint of whiskey, at which point you'll be pinned down by orderlies while a surgeon uses a long curved knife to cut the skin all the way around your leg, then through the muscle a few inches up. At that point, the knife will be exchanged for a saw, so that while an assistant pulls your leg muscles back, the surgeon can saw through the bone. The critical arteries and veins will be literally tied off so you don't bleed to death. The muscle and skin will be stitched up, and Bob's your uncle, you're done. So you made it.
Well, hope you're happy with your choice. Gonna go to the doctor.
Yeah, that sounds fucking awful. Resetting the bone was not an option. They just immediately go to cutting it off, because that's
Pretty much.
normally what you would do with a compound fracture.
Yeah, I don't think they were very good at it, so I think they would just lob it off.
Victorian times don't seem that fun.
Yeah,
to me.
like
You know, you
busted,
have Jack
time
the
to get it
Ripper
off.
running around. You have this going on.
Nasty man.
It's like, what did they
Yeah,
have?
probably should have.
You guys ever gotten even stitches or anything?
Oh, up here, my little scar up here was. I was a little baby. I fell off the high chair.
You fell off
You
the
guys
high
know my
chair?
Reaching for a
story.
cake.
Chin twice.
Oh.
Ain't that like Arya?
Little Arya just wanted his little K.
I don't think I've ever had stitches now that I think about it.
It's crazy that they just stitch you up. They just sew your skin together.
I guess when you put it that way. I mean, you got eaten by a T-Rex. That's much worse than...
Chewed me up and spit me out.
Did it hurt?
Yeah, must have.
Nice.
Well, if you are lucky enough to have a skilled surgeon, the whole ordeal might take less than a minute, though there is no shortage of horror stories of the process taking longer, like the surgeon whose saw got stuck in the bone and refused to budge. And even the lucky patients who didn't suffer any complications were barely able to describe the experience. As George Wilson, who had his ankle disarticulated in 1843, described 4 years after the event, quote, "The horror of great darkness and the sense of desertion by God and man, bordering close on despair, which swept through my mind and overwhelmed my heart, I can never forget, however gladly I would do so."
I like my
Gladly, I
ankles
would do
fully
so.
articulated.
Wow.
I don't want them disarticulated.
Yeah,
When
I'm
the
good.
skin separates from the joint.
I don't like skinning.
I don't like any of it.
I mean, I don't like any of it, but in particular, I've never really enjoyed when people talk about skinning or scalping or any of that stuff.
I once saw.
What'd
Why are
you
you
see?
laughing?
Why are you laughing?
What's wrong with you? I think Arya's a serial killer.
It'd kind of funny.
No, it wouldn't.
What? You okay over there?
Speaking of skinning, I once saw a very funny image, which I'll show you later, Professor, if you want. I can show you in a moment of the green M&M skinning herself, and she's chocolate.
Oh, this is
Oh,
because
the
people were
commercial.
lusting after her, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
In this scenario, was the green skin kind of like clothes, or were they?
Yes, it was like clothes.
Clothing.
I see.
But that's her skin. That's her
I
That's
see.
her skin.
Oh, that's really gross. That's really.
Arya loves it.
I'm gonna look at his. He's gonna show it to me on his phone, and I'm gonna see that it's his wallpaper.
I have a bunch of images of her.
While the
Oh yeah, I think I actually remember that commercial. But yikes. Yeah, apparently that green skin's clothed. Who knew? Anyway, moving on.
patient clearly had the short end of the scalpel, an operation wasn't exactly a picnic for the surgeon either. Slicing open a writhing wretch, blood shooting from their severed limbs as they screamed out for death. Look, you need to be prepared for such things.
mental
Unfortunately,
fortitude
training
for that.
young doctors was extremely difficult in Victorian England. Hey, why? A lack of practice cadavers. B,
maybe?
interference from the church. Or C, 19th century heebie-jeebies about blood. Much to think
The
about.
church got
Smart
involved.
boys.
Don't call us your boys.
They're smart little guys. Locked in.
I'm gonna go with
yeah.
B, problems with the church. Time and time again, it seems like religion hates science, so I'm gonna just kind of ride that train.
Yes, I'm going with B as well.
Yeah,
I
I'm going
concur.
A. I
We
think
do
I
always like
remember
meddling
it was like,
affairs.
they didn't have like some
Beepers!
enemies.
That's some sort of sneakers on the court. Our second best bit.
Just don't acknowledge it, and maybe he'll shut
Our
up.
second best bit. Hey, points to neither of you.
Whoa!
Yeah, that's right. Oh, sorry.
No need to be nasty about it.
What was it?
Yes, in the early 1800s, getting your hands on a dead body was tough work.
People were dying
yeah.
left and right. How could they not? That's
They
like
weren't-
a buffet.
They weren't preserving them very well.
That makes more sense.
There was a
no
lot going on. There was also
marks.
laws against dissection that meant that in 1823, for instance, instructors in Great Britain had to train almost 2,000 students with fewer than 100 legally obtained bodies.
If I was a serial killer living back in the day, I would just become a doctor.
I mean, that's smart, honestly.
No one would get after you for malpractice like nowadays. Not that I've ever had this fantasy and played it out, but I'm just saying if I was gonna do it, that's how I would do it.
What if that was what Jack the Ripper was doing?
He was just obsessed with killing, doing it on the clock and working after hours. That guy was working
Good work.
after hours like Drake. Drake's not a murderer.
Allegedly, as far as we know.
Allegedly.
Professor, you've already gotten tagged up once for a defamation lawsuit. I don't think you want another one.
Oh, right, you're right. Drake is not a murderer.
Okay, do I even want to know about the lawsuit there? And actually, this actually reminds me back of the game I played. Remember Greatest Attorney 2? Like, if you remember, Hound of Baskerville, apparently, thanks to Gregson, was able to dissect the body. Back then, yeah, they were pretty much trying to preserve the body, which seems kind of redundant, considering, like, sometimes they are, or, like, dead. So, seems kind of redundant, isn't it? You'd be surprised. What can you do? Anyway, moving right along.
Right, moving along.
Hey, Dorothy Ruth.
Clock clip, scared of snakes, etc. Oh, hey there, Dorothy Ruth. Hello, Professor. You know, I know you've got a lesson to get to, but I simply had to gallop over here to thank Helix Sleep for sponsoring this video. Professor, did you know that the average horse only sleeps about 2.9 hours a day? What? That's crazy, right? It's like, what are we doing? Anyway, as I've mentioned, I've actually hit the dating scene after the mucky death of my husband, Stanley Melvin. So I've actually been spending a lot more time in bed lately. Thankfully, Helix Sleep makes premium mattresses and bedding that are customized to fit your needs, and they're conveniently shipped right to your door. Oh, nice! And actually, my old mattress really stinks, and I could use an upgrade. Here's my friend Meredith helping me set up. Look at it. Look at how easy it is. Look at that. Wow. Oh my gosh. It was a breeze. What a good friend. Helix has a sleep quiz that matches your unique body type and sleep preferences to make the perfect mattress for you. They've got something for everybody. And if you sleep with a partner, you can even take the quiz together to find something that suits you both. Based on my results, Helix matched me with a midnight luxe. I'm a lonesome side sleeper, and I love a medium firmness. Not too soft, not too hard. I also opted for the Glacier Tex coating, which keeps the mattress nice and cool in the summer. Wow, it sounds like I gotta get my fully corporeal paws on one of these mattresses. Well, it also comes with a
that's a little
100-night
sus.
sleep trial and a 10-year warranty, along with financing options and flexible payment plans. And if you don't like it after 3 months, guess what? They'll pick it up and you'll get a full refund. Look, I love my Helix, and I think you will too. If you're in the market for a new bed, check out Helix by clicking on the link below or going to helixsleep.com/watcher for up to $200 off your Helix Sleep mattress, plus 2 free pillows. Wow, that's incredible.
Thanks, Dorothy.
Hey, thanks, Dorothy Ruth. Of course. Okay, I'm running late for a date with a Clydesdale named Elmer Walter Williams. We might eat some carrots, and if he clops his hooves right, maybe I'll show him my Helix. See you later.
hi to
Clop,
him.
clop, clip,
Bye,
clop,
Dorothy
clop,
Ruth.
clop, clop. Ah, all right, where were we?
The dent.
Enterprising
Sorry.
resurrectionists, aka body snatchers, stepped up to fill the demand. the practice became somewhat routine, with one resurrectionist, Ben Crouch, admitting he had one span of 4 nights where he secured 23 bodies. Over the 1811 school term, Crouch claimed his team was responsible for delivering 406 bodies, each averaging a payment of £7. In today's money, it meant that after expenses like bribes, a body snatcher could conservatively net $40,000 a year with little more than a shovel and a strong stomach. I mean, in a way, it's positive because they're helping advance medical knowledge.
It's true. They weren't getting bodies anywhere else.
Fair enough.
Until the father of a deceased son goes back to the grave the next day to pay additional respects, and it's just a hole.
It's just a little IOU note.
Yeah, it's just like BRB.
That'd be
needed
awkward.
body.
Be like,
Are you guys going to
"Where's my
donate your
dad?"
bodies to science when you're dead?
Yeah, sure. I don't give a shit what
Yeah, why
happens
not?
to your body after.
I'm good. Although I watched a video recently by Johnny Harris about the illegal organ and body trade. Sometimes if you donate your body to the wrong, or you leave it to the wrong organization, like it can be sold out to be shown in like
Ripley's?
kind of like situations like that. There was like a convention in Portland where people were like gawking at a dead body.
What?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And they were performing surgeries on it too.
What?
I know. It's
They're not
wild.
allowed.
When I die, can you just toss me into one of those claw machines?
I'd rather toss you into a T-Rex mouth.
You already did that, you piece of shit. Well, as grim a business as it sounds,
So
without the
where's
body
Liston?
snatchers, it really would have been almost impossible to give budding doctors any hands-on experience. Never mind how remedial that experience was in the first place. Since new doctors had only bare-bones training, it meant that, and this remains true today, the most important factor when going under the knife was who your surgeon was. And in the first half of the 1800s, there was no better surgeon than Robert Liston.
Why? Because the success rate was 25% or something?
Well, let's find out. Robert Liston was born on October 28th, 1794, in the manse of Ecclesmachan, Linlithgowshire. His father, Henry Liston, was a minister and gave Robert most of his early schooling. At age 16, Robert became an assistant to a Dr. John Barclay, a professor of anatomy and physiology, and began training as a doctor in both Edinburgh and London, joining the Royal College of Surgeons of England at age 24. He soon gained a reputation as a skillful surgeon, taking on patients that the Royal Infirmary of Edinburgh deemed inoperable. Patients would camp out in his offices for days in the hopes of getting a consultation, and Liston tried to see every one of them.
One time I camped out 12 hours to see The Dark Knight at midnight. Worth it. So I imagine this guy was also worth it. You ever camp out for anything, Haria?
No, I've never camped out for anything.
Not even to camp
really.
in the woods?
Oh, I'm not a big camping boy.
What's the longest line you've ever waited in?
Disneyland lines.
Sure.
Yeah,
You gotta get that fast pass, bro.
That's true.
Whew, hey,
There we go.
what helped make Liston such a good surgeon?
Let's see.
A, hands so steady they never once slipped. B, a mind so sharp he had every published text on medicine memorized. Or C, he was big.
What?
Big in what sense?
Yeah, like, is he big in
So,
terms of stature or
Magic
like
hands,
Big guy.
smart
guy's
brain, or big
an
guy?
absolute fucking unit?
Okay, Ryan, what do you got?
I went with C. Just an absolute fucking unit of a man. I just think it's really funny that people back then would think, oh, he's a great doctor because he's so large.
Aria, what do you got?
I got a big boy too. I got big boy with an I.
Oh, sound the alarms. We got a couple sea dogs out there.
Sorry, just change my answer.
Bark on.
Let's go Vegas. I was gonna go with
Okay, we're
B.
gonna find out the magic of theater. I'll be right back.
Gotta be
Woo.
those hands,
I
right?
hope we see a really big puppet.
Let's see. Oh. Nope.
Excuse me, is
so
this
it's
the
not
office
C.
of Robert Liston? My leg is shattered, and if it isn't removed, I'm as good as dead. Hi, this is Robert Liston's office, but you'll have to wait in line. I've been here for a day now, hoping he'd chop off me messed up foot. I hear the doctor's the smartest man to ever live.
Oh, was he?
Not sure about that. Well, I also hear his hands are so true that he's never made a horrible mistake, like cutting off someone's balls on accident. Well, I've heard the opposite. Well, then what is it that makes Dr. Liston
so it is
so
C?
great? Whoa!
Whoa!
Absolute fucking unit.
Holy shit, Robert Liston is huge. No wonder everybody wants him to operate on them.
Well, I wonder, do you think that Liston was he juicing up?
I don't think so.
So he's natural.
I think that guy was just slaying a bunch of pigs and eating the fuck out of them
That
every
makes
day.
sense now.
Whoa! Points to both of ya. You're a
Hooray.
big guy.
Okay, I'll
pretty
Take a loss there.
Yeah, when the job description is physically restraining your patient and then putting your back into sawing through their bones, the bigger the doctor, the better. And Robert Liston was a whopping 6'2". It was Victorian England, remember? Everything was a little bit smaller.
Oh, so like by today's standards, he was like a 7-foot boy.
That's like 3 inches shorter than Shane Bidet. If Shane was a doctor back in the day, they would have stood in line for him.
Maybe. Well, Robert Liston
can
wasn't
imagine that.
only tall, he was also relatively clean, which was notable for a time when one of the main explanations given for illness wasn't bacteria, but instead, you must have pissed God off. Liston was insistent that limbs be shaved before operating, that surgical sponges be washed before surgery, and that he wash his own hands before sticking them inside of a person. Revolutionary
Jon
stuff, though he
Snow.
did have this silly
I
habit
find
of
this sound familiar.
holding a bloody knife in his mouth when his hands were otherwise occupied. Listen, we've all got our own gross little habits.
I hope he
3 for
washed
4.
that.
Yeah.
You know,
Sort of ahead of the curve without even knowing it.
that's crazy, because you just said germ theory had just come. Was it just breaking onto the scene by the time this guy was there?
No, we didn't even have it yet.
Oh, wow, so he really was ahead of the curve.
Yeah. Now, Liston also stood.
You know what? Actually, now I think about it, I knew that sounded familiar. Wasn't that the same guy from, wasn't it the Broad Street Palm Extra history? I could have sworn that's the same guy. Maybe that was from a TED Talk, or TED video. TED Ed? It's like from the Reason Demon, or the Demon of Reason, I think. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it's been a while, so I can't really say for sure. Let's keep moving.
Stood out due to his concerns for the mental health of the patient. Makes sense when you'll likely be responsible for the single most traumatic minute of a person's life. As
think?
Liston wrote, a surgeon, quote, must consider his labor only begun when the operation is finished. The patient is yet to be conducted by kindness and judgment through the process of cure.
It's a nice thought, but I don't think bedside manner really comes into play when you're ripping muscle off the bone. It's not going to help me
Yeah,
if you're
not
like,
fun, not
are you
fun.
feeling any pain?
What he's getting at without, I think, even realizing it, is that they'll probably have some sort of post-traumatic stress
Oh, of course, yeah.
resulting from it, and
PTSD,
that they
everybody.
should be looked after and tended to for their mental health afterwards.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought we were talking like bedside manner while he was doing the ripping.
No, I'm sure he just did that as quickly as possible.
Probably looked good while doing it.
I mean, with a knife in his mouth, it's kind of sexy.
I know, if he was doing it shirtless or something, I imagine, now I understand the line.
Done.
Well, on top of all this, of course, Liston was also a crackerjack surgeon, the fastest saw in the kingdom, able to perform an above-the-knee amputation in under 30 seconds. Though this wasn't known at the time, speed meant a body's insides had less time exposed to the operating theater's germ-riddled air.
Oh my God, I forgot this was happening in a fucking theater.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Wait
I didn't
a
even
second.
realize it was happening in the theater.
Now that I think about that, they probably made a killing on tickets. If this guy's jacked and probably handsome, and he's sitting there like, foot up, just doing this, I'm sure people were in that theater.
I mean, I'm sure sometimes maybe they let people from the public come in, but a lot of times it was like at medical schools where trainees would watch, you know. Or, I don't know, maybe you could pay. Who knows?
People were sick back then. Not a lot of entertainment.
That they are.
Honestly, if
I
I
bet
were
they still
alive
are
at this
today.
time, I think I'd pay money to go see this.
I wonder though, like, would he, since there's such quick sessions, is it like you do bundle like multiple back-to-back showings? Like,
maybe.
do you just pay for one 30-second show?
Bundle? 3 amputations for the price of 1. That's the best I can do. That's the best I can do.
Three
Liston's
applications.
track
you're out.
record spoke for itself. While working at London's University College Hospital, around 10% of his patients died on the table, compared to a nearby hospital where 25% of patients were lost. It's easy to see why
That's a big
patients
gap.
waited days for the privilege to be hacked to bits by old Bobby Liston.
25%, that's a hefty amount.
That's a lot.
that's a lot.
10% also a little
to
unnerving, but
25%.
25,
Yeah, I
you
go
know,
with 10%,
you're going in a
to be
place with a
honest.
1 in 4 chance of dying on the table. I'll wait in line. Liston
Yeah,
also
I'll go
wrote 2 textbooks on surgery and
Whopping.
invented several surgical implements to aid him, including the Liston splint and locking forceps, which are still used today.
Wow.
Impressive. Liston was known to quarrel regularly with other doctors and held his assistants to an extremely high standard. His combativeness was at least framed around what was the best care for a patient, and he made sure his assistants knew there was no ill will by inviting them to his home for dinner. Aw. Still, the good doctor did develop a bit of an ego. Since surgeries in the Victorian era often took place in a literal theater, Liston would call out to the crowd before his first incision, "Gentlemen, time me." For their part, the audience withdrew their pocket watches and obliged.
I feel like the one person that wouldn't have fun is probably the patient. 'Cause I'd
I
be
was
like,
about to say.
Yeah, I'm
take
like,
your time, buddy.
not
That's
cool,
true.
man.
If I'm sitting strapped down, being held down by orderlies, the
Not
last
cool,
thing I
man.
want the
Not
guy
cool.
with the
Ah!
fucking giant knife to be like is, time me. It's pretty rude, honestly.
It's rude.
And they're awake.
I'd
They
be
can hear
scared.
them.
But again, if I'm in
Probably
the
piss
audience,
myself.
I'm loving it.
Oh, sure, yeah, but surgery should be an audience of one.
Now, while Robert Liston was the best, he of course wasn't perfect. Once, in Liston's haste to remove a leg, his knife took a testicle along with it.
He accidentally cut someone's balls off?
Allegedly, that may have happened, yeah.
What do you mean allegedly? I'm gonna need a firm yes or no on
It's
that.
rumored to have happened.
What was he aiming for?
I'm going to assume he was probably aiming for something else.
I don't understand how you miss. Does he go big
how does
stroke?
that
He's a
even
big guy.
happen?
It's a big stroke, and you
Yeah,
actually.
and it's
for
not
the
like
leg,
the
and all of a
balls could
sudden,
be
oh,
mistaken
oops,
for any
got
other
the
body part. They're
nuts.
pretty distinct.
The balls are also like they're under. They're under usually the penis.
I don't know. Look, we've all made mistakes. We've all accidentally chopped people's balls off.
If he lops one of my testicles off, I'm gonna feel intimidated. I can't complain. I'm not gonna throw up a lawsuit against this guy because
Sure about that?
it's very scary.
So you want a little doctor like Doogie Howser?
Yes, because then I can be like, Dougie, what the fuck did you do to my ball?
Yeah, what? Dude,
What's it doing to my ball?
Another time, when consulting on a neck mass in a child, Liston cockily stabbed it with a knife, believing it to be just an abscess. Turns out it was an aneurysm, which Liston didn't think a boy could suffer from, and the young man bled out. Awkward. Hey, what was Robert Liston's worst surgical mistake? A, he realized he was sawing off the wrong leg halfway through a surgery. B, the patient died along with 2 other people present. Or C, he mistook a patient for the patient's brother, resulting in both dying.
You know, considering the guy accidentally cut off a testicle.
all right,
Man, that's
I think I got it.
Oh, what are your answers?
I'm gonna go with A, good news.
Yeah,
bad news. The
I was
good
like,
news is we cut the
whoops,
leg off. The
wrong
bad
leg.
news is it's the wrong one.
I'm also going with A as well.
Wow, we all went
Double
A.
A's.
You know, I just
18.
imagine that in his haste, you know, he's
Yeah,
probably
just like
grandstanding, and he's like,
oh,
maybe he's looking at the audience like a teppanyaki
Oh,
chef.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, let's find out via the magic of theater. I'll be right back. Okay.
Nice.
I wonder what's the acceptable amount of
Imagine if
deaths on your
someone
watch
just died on
for
the
a
table
surgeon
with 2 others
nowadays.
did as well.
That's actually
What the hell?
Okay, I'm about to remove this dude's leg. Assistant, hold this rascal down. Don't worry, Dr. Liston. I've got him good and... Ouch! Oh, oops.
Wait.
Looks like he cut my finger off there.
Oh, it is me. Oh, you're kidding me.
That's a problem, I suppose. Ooh!
God.
I say, I think your assistant has died of sepsis he caught from that rotten leg you're sawing.
Why is Abraham Lincoln?
What was that? Oh, Jesus, dude. Watch where you're flailing that knife. What'd you say? Oh, God. You just cut me with that diseased knife. Oh. Sir?
Okay, that's 2.
Cripes, I think that dude just died of fear. Oh no, the patient died of sepsis. Oh boy, this is not my day.
Okay.
Bad day at the office.
No kidding. Jeez,
Okay, points to neither of you. Sorry. Yes, well,
Dang.
some dispute the authenticity of this story, as you
Christ.
should for any tale where someone dies of fright. But if true, this surgery is thought to be the only one in history with a 300% mortality rate. Yowza.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, again, I'm guessing it's because of the time limit, but you're swinging that knife
Yeah, I'm
around.
not doing well today.
Very scary.
Hey, imagine being at
I'm
that
just
show.
here for the fun.
Now that's getting your money.
That's a hot ticket. The reviews were probably raving the next morning in the paper.
It's like, oh my God, you hear about last week? Arya got tickets to the Triple H.
Now remember, this was from the best surgeon alive. With the hurdles of Victorian medicine, there was only so
Yeah, we
much
just
that
heard.
skill and a 6'2" frame could get you. Luckily, a huge advance called the Yankee Dodge was right around the corner.
Hell's that?
Hey, what was the Yankee Dodge?
Yankee Dodge.
A.
What?
Ether. B. Surgical gloves.
Yankee Dodge.
Or C. A precursor to blood transfusion.
Yankee Dodge. It can't be the first one.
I don't know.
Okay, what do you got?
I guess I'm gonna go with A, the ether, just
Ether.
because of that one scene in Blue Velvet. Not one scene, you know what I'm talking about.
I didn't know what ether was, so I didn't go with ether.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Aria?
with B.
Surgical gloves.
Surgical gloves.
Yeah.
Well, a point to Beef Boy.
Yay!
Ether.
First synthesized in 1846 from a mixture of sulfuric acid and alcohol by William Morton, a dentist practicing across the pond in Boston, ether was proving revolutionary in dental procedures. Perhaps it could work for other operations as well. In Victorian surgery, it was no secret that the patient being awake and upset the whole time was affecting outcomes. Some doctors had even experimented with hypnotism, without success, in an attempt to subdue patients. Within weeks of William Morton successfully removing a tooth on an ethered patient, Liston saw where the future of medicine was heading, and he ushered it in personally.
So wait, exactly what is ether?
It's like a gas.
It's like a common.
It's kind of like laughing gas, isn't it?
A little bit. If you have too much of it, you'll pass out. Well, let's talk about the first surgery with ether. On December 21st, 1846, a hastily assembled crowd gathered in the University College of London's operating theatre to watch 36-year-old butler Frederick Churchill lose his leg. His right knee had a bone infection, causing it to swell into a grotesque bend. The leg was coming off. He may as well try to catch some Z's while it happened. You know what? Honestly, at this point, I'm taking it. If the alternative is to be awake while they cut my leg off,
I agree.
I'll give it a whirl. Churchill inhaled from the ether, and within minutes, he was out cold. Liston turned to the crowd, told them to time him, and a mere 28 seconds later, the leg was gone and fully sewn up. Churchill hadn't even flinched. Waking a few minutes later, Churchill's first question was when the surgery was supposed to begin. I imagine, to his great relief, Churchill was shown the stump under his hip where a leg had once been. The audience was blown away as Liston yelled out, "This Yankee dodge beats mesmerism hollow." It was a new dawn for medicine, ushered in by one of a now bygone era's greats.
I guess you would have hoped the triple homicide would have made him drop the whole time me act, but
Nope.
Well, no, you
not.
got to up the ante because people are expecting more of these subsequent shows.
yeah, I guess.
He just turned into sleep by that point.
Glad the ether worked.
Unfortunately, Liston didn't get to see the leaps and bounds that surgery would take in the coming decades. On December 7th, 1847, less than a year after performing Britain's first surgery with ether, Robert Liston died of a ruptured aortic aneurysm at age 53. Robert Liston was one of the quickest surgeons to ever live, but he had shown how to make speed obsolete in the OR. Until ether and its less caustic, less explosive cousin, chloroform, operating on any part of the body was essentially impossible apart from amputation. Now that pain during surgery was no longer standing in the way, however, the field exploded. For almost a century after Frederick Churchill snoozed through his leg being sawn off, journals of medicine published breakthrough after breakthrough in the field of surgery. Now, before ether, amputation mortality rates at Massachusetts General were 19%. What were they after? Now, this is another open-ended question, but I can tell you it's between 1 and 99%.
That doesn't help. Let's see. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a lot.
So they were at 19% before anesthesia. Ryan, what do you got?
I'm gonna go 1%.
You go, wow.
Whoa.
I think you're a tricky little sneak.
I am, but that's not the answer.
swear,
Aria,
this
what do you
thing
got?
increased.
I originally went with 7, then changed it to a 9.
Okay.
I figured like it went
wonder how
down, but I
close you
can't
are.
imagine it went down that drastically, that
Could it be?
quickly.
Well, you're both wrong. Aria is closest, but with ether, mortality rates actually went up to 23%. What?
Oh, because they probably got a little more ambitious in what they were trying
You know
to
what?
Right.
Okay, Ryan, you get a jelly bean for that one. You're correct.
makes sense.
Well, as Beef Boy pointed out, now that a surgeon didn't have to deal with writhing, screaming patients, they were more willing to try riskier stuff. Plus, operating theaters were now used even more frequently, with almost no concern for their cleanliness, meaning they got pretty gross. Though the pain problem had been solved, Louis Pasteur was only just getting started in the late 1850s, and infections were still total mysteries.
On the other hand, though, if they didn't push the envelope there, we probably wouldn't have all the
had one
advances
right.
we have today. So
Oh, for sure.
most
Yeah.
surgeries, you're lying on a bed of bodies.
That's right. A mountain of corpses.
So I guess we should be grateful.
We should be grateful for the sacrifice.
Today, in the UK, your odds of dying during scheduled surgery is 1 in 100,000, literally 10,000 times better than under Robert Liston's knife. It's easy to look back on history and shudder.
But it's also important to recognize that we're the future's history. Yeah. Hopefully, progress means that 150 years from now, medicine in this decade will seem barely removed from the time of orderlies holding down our limbs while we cry out for mercy to a deaf and uncaring God.
What's that as a percentage?
I believe that's 0.00001%.
Ah, that was good odds.
I'll do it now. Do some surgery on me.
Never tell me the odds unless it's surgery.
Well, that's about it, folks.
Dang.
What do you guys think of Robert Liston?
That was great. I mean,
one.
love a good showman.
And again,
Yeah,
not
you
good
know,
with medical
the greatest
stuff.
showman.
I'm surprised
Take that, Hugh Jackman.
There should be a movie made of this man. I don't know.
Yeah, they should just name it that again and make this into a musical.
Yeah.
Imagine someone just fucking belting out,
From
singing,
now on, while he's
just going to town on a leg and the person screaming is harmonizing. I like it.
That sounds like a Golden Globe winner to me.
Me too.
Well, that concludes our history lesson. I'm going to go tally the scores to see who gets what they have coming to them.
What?
Before I do that, though, normally we've got a musical guest, but oh
Really?
God, this is so embarrassing. We didn't book one in time. Oh no, I'm so bad at my job. Anyway, let me plug in the numbers to the victory algorithm. Boop, boop, boop. Oh wow, Ryan won. Ryan, you did it again! Hooray!
This seems a
Sorry
little
about that,
sus.
Aria.
It's okay. I'm just happy to be here.
Valiantly played, though. Ryan, we actually ran out of moisturizer for today's episode, so today's prize is a big ol' hit of Puppet Vape. It's super unhealthy and dangerous, but oh boy, is it tasty after a long day of thinking. And you've been doing a lot of thinking this season, so come on,
Ryan,
it's
I wouldn't
good,
want a
and
puppet.
healthy. You'll love it.
Well, it is the fifth
Dude, I
episode.
don't even
It's the
smoke.
5th episode.
And you wouldn't
I
do
need
any-
you for the 6th,
That's
you
true.
know?
And you wouldn't do anything crazy on camera.
No. Take a big, big hit of that.
I wouldn't do that.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty good. You want some? Is this an indica or is it?
And he's out. Ryan?
There you go. Aria, Aria, I don't know if it's your...
Yeah, you don't have to drive after.
You gotta drive.
Yeah, probably not the best.
Yeah,
What flavor is this? Yankee Dodge.
Hey, you got that photo of the green
Effer.
M&M on your phone?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Yeah. Hold up.
Oh.
Oh yeah. I got to scroll up through my.
Scroll through. Well, you got a lot of them on there.
Ryan?
Oh, I've got different characters.
Aria?
You big Wally.
Aria? Oh boy.
I've never seen Wally like that.
Hold up. I'm gonna go through all these.
Wally's circuit's fully exposed.
Hold up. Give me one moment. I got the Mucinex demon too.
Mucinex?
Mucinex. Okay, I'm gonna show you this. This is definitely not camera friendly. Well, I've got several options of it. Well, this is
And
the
we
one
fell
with
for the trap.
skin.
Ryan?
Rise and shine, old pal of mine!
Damn it, I knew you were up to something.
Oh no, you're on to me! Whatever am I going to do? I guess I'll just never untie you!
What is happening? Who are you?
Oh, now you want to learn about the past! Go figure! Alright, fine. Welcome, one person, to your demise! Today we're taking an ever-winding look at how Ryan Bergara is going to die so I can inhabit his flesh! Let's crack it! Now, to begin, hey, you remember when you conned the real professor into his death last season? And remember that genie killed all those other puppets? Well, in purgatory, their approximation of souls had a little funeral for their beloved professor. And as part of the ceremony, I was a hologram, programmed to try to soothe their sadness. And I did an incredible job. I gave a distinguished and stirring performance, and everyone felt very good afterwards. Now, after the memorial, those damned puppets really put up a stink about the whole mess and begged the joker-fied cosmic being known as God to undo everything. He was sympathetic, but stressed that he was still really exhausted from that Suez Canal prank he pulled, which he described as, quote, David Blaine-level stuff. So, he insisted he gotta take a little 1,000-year nap, but says the puppets can send one representative back to reality to sort the whole mess out. And the puppets, oh, the stupid, simple puppets, elected me, the hologram, figuring, hey, I've got the professor's thoughts and memories. If anybody can mend calamity, it's the professor! So, then what happened? Well... No history point for you! May your dipshit soul suffer unending torments in the deepest chasms of hell! May your bones shatter and your lungs fill with black hole!
That's great. Thank you for reading for us today.
Oh. Okay. I can take it again if you've got any notes.
Honestly, it was great. We'll be in touch.
I mean, you know, I can tone down the bile stuff if you're going for a younger demo, or...
As I said, we'll be in touch.
Oh, I get it. Cool. Okay, huge waste of time.
Ouch.
Who the fuck are we gonna get to host this show? Oh my god. Okay.
Hi, everyone! It's me, the Professor!
What? Hey, big fan. I'm the estranged producer of this show. I don't know that we've met. Didn't Ryan mention you were tossed into dinosaur times? I'm surprised to see you in the flesh.
Yes, I was sent to help... Flash?
Yeah, Flash. How did you even... Hey, you know what? I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. You're here. That's all that counts. Season 5, baby. It's back on. I got to tell Ron. I got to tell NordVPN. Oh.
Yes. Flesh.
Uh-oh.
Flesh must become corporeal. Must
Boy. Okay, I'm expecting the genie, but we gotta roll.
So here I am. It's a lot of details, sure, but I will not be issuing an apology for the rich
So we got a rogue AI.
of my
Great.
fascinating life. Anyway, ooh, what happens next? A, I cut your skin off with a little knife. B, I adhere your skin to my cute little body and finally know what it's like to feel. Or C, with my wonderful little hands covered in real skin, I'll finally rub the genie lamp and wish for a soul, for all food on earth to be jelly beans, and for all living creatures to be turned into puppets.
Oh.
I'd say all of the above.
All of the above here.
I don't have the lamp. I tried to buy it and I got outbid.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, you got there all by yourself, a jelly bean for the Beast Boy. Oh, speaking of.
Hey, guy. Oh, sorry. Are you shooting? We got a package for concupiscence. Oh, Connie. Here you go.
Thank
Hey, buddy.
you. Look at that.
Is this yours?
Shake, shake.
Oh,
Hey,
oh,
little help.
that's nice.
Wait, shake,
All
shake.
right.
Hey,
Good luck
Shane.
here.
Are you not...
Shane.
Shane,
Hey,
hey, are you not seeing this?
Shane, do not say...
You're not gonna get away with this.
A rum
gonna get you
jelly
for
bean
this.
for the Beast Boy. I am going to get away with it. Oh, hey, look. It's been a rough day. I've got a crackerjack idea. It wouldn't be a puppet history episode without a dumb little ditty. So let's turn that little frown upside down with the bravura performance from your humble substitute.
Gotta go way out of this.
Who's that? I asked the friendly face in the mirror. Oh, sharp glasses with a bow tie and a hat. The answer couldn't be any clearer. Well, I'm the spitting image of your favorite fuzzy host, and I'm the best you got considering his ass is toast. But bad news, just mind what you see. Turns out I'm just a nasty hologram. I think, at least I think, therefore I kind of think that I am. Well, this tech has got me halfway to corporeal. I can kick and bite, but it'd be nice to feel for real. Oh, and so I'll cut you up and wear you like a suit. Tear the flesh right off your bones, make an outfit of my own and blow it up.
What are you, Hannibal Lecter now?
And once I'm in your shredded skin, there ain't nothing that this puppet can do. I'm gonna make one hell of a me out of the pieces of you. I swear I'll make it quick, but I can't assure that it won't smart.
Oh, shit.
I'll start out with a couple of sips, and then I'll lightly rip your body apart. The procedure's pretty boilerplate, I'm sure you'll find, though the pain that you endure might make you lose your mind. And sure, you'll likely die. It's tough to carry on when you've been healed. Oh, but lucky me, I'll be a whole new guy. Can't wait to feel how good it feels to be healed. And I'm sure you've got objections about being shot.
You think?
You killed my mate and sealed your fate, and now you're fucked. No, I'm a surgeon, but I'll try my level best. I'm gonna lay you up now, leave you
Yeesh, this
bleeding
is
on the ground.
messed up.
Make my own burger a mess.
Alright.
Once I'm wrapped up in your scraps, there ain't nothing that this puppet can do. I'm gonna make one hell of me out of the pieces of you. We'll start out way up top and slit you right on down the side. And then I'll sink my little fingers in to help slough off that rug. Which are recognizable ways to steal all the skin you've got on account of how you're back at night and not even clearly enough.
Thank
We'll take the flame to one of these great big white hat, flowing cake. We'll miss you big boy, R.I.P. Got tin up, chuck your grin on me. And now the time has come to fetch my cute little knife. I'm gonna plunge it in your eye and watch the light fade from your eyes and start my own delicious life. And once I'm in your shredded skin, there ain't nothing that this puppet won't do. I'm gonna make one hell of a me out of the pieces of you. Good night.
Song sucked. I mean it this time.
Oh, that cuts deep. I'll remember that when I'm carving you up. Speaking of, you hang tight while I grab my adorable little knife. I'll be right back.
Gotta go way out. Shoot. Come on.
Hey! Hey, somebody help me!
Oh, what's all the commotion out here? We little studio rats are trying to catch some Z's, big fella.
Look, not now, dude, but I need to chew these roots. Professor's
Hold
gone
on,
mad.
chew through these ropes. He's gonna kill me if you don't. He's a madman.
Rope doesn't sound too tasty. As an omnivore, I mostly eat fruits, vegetables, meat, and
get
when
you
I'm
some cheese
very
later, just
stressed,
cut.
my own children.
Okay, well, how about this? How about if I get Stevie Lim to cook you a custom dish on Dish Granted?
Whoa. You talking about Big Apple Steve?
Yep,
Yeah,
the
Big Apple
Apple
Steve.
Steve.
Whoa, now that sounds like a sweet deal. All right, you got it. Let me get my little teeth around that rope.
Just back here.
Go. Hurry. Come on.
It didn't taste too good. Hey, good luck, mister.
Thanks. Yeah, free. Okay, grab the lamp and go. Ah, crap. Okay, so it's back to the genie, but nope, just a rogue hologram. Oh boy. All I can say is, good luck, Brian, you're gonna need it. Really, wonder how this season's gonna end. This is one last episode. So, till now, thanks for watching, everybody. See you next week for the finale.